Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. Well, I was having a phone call with my good friend Christophe Huss up in Montreal, who is, the music critic for Le Devoir and other things up there. And he said to me, we talk about which recordings are really good and which things, we should be listening to and which things are really bad. Those are fun too, of course. But he said to me, there's this really amazing recording of Tchaikovsky's Fifth and Sixth Symphony with the London Phil and Karina Canellakis, conductor. And I said to him, yeah, but they have that wonderful Tchaikovsky cycle with Yurovsky. So what are they doing releasing more Tchaikovsky symphonies? And he said, I thought exactly the same thing, but it's really, really terrific. You should listen to it. Well, I didn't need to wait because Tchaikovsky is one of those composers who I did a whole video about, seems to be sort of on the outs these days. And anybody who can rev up interest in Tchaikovsky, who can really deliver fine idiomatic performances, well, I'm all for it. So I picked it up and I listened to it a few times, both in real life and on the train, going back and forth from work. And I thought to myself, wow, this is the real deal. This is really, really good. I mean, Karina Canellakis knows how to conduct Tchaikovsky. It reminds me a little bit, remember, like about 1 million years ago, when the Welsh conductor Sean Edwards made 2 Tchaikovsky discs for EMI. She did a Tchaik 5, and she did a disc of tone poems, including the 1812 Overture and Francesca and that stuff, and they were fantastic. And then she did nothing else. I mean, she became, I believe, an instructor, a teacher. She never had a major international career, and she probably deserved it. Maybe she was a little too early when it came to lady conductors. But all I can tell you is this is really sensational Tchaikovsky. Wonderfully done. Let's start with the Fifth Symphony. Well, I mean, the Fifth Symphony, first of all, the opening can't be too soggy, and it isn't. The allegro needs to have rhythm and energy, and it does. The climaxes are suitably uninhibited. The slow movement, oh, it's so beautiful. The horn solo is lovely. The big tune rises to a powerful climax that's intense but not too sticky. Yes, it could go, crazier in the hysteria department, but it's very nicely done. The third movement, waltz, is gorgeous. That's usually a movement I kind of dread because I just don't think it's that interesting. This is interesting. It's interesting just because it's so elegant. It has such lilt to it. It's just lovely. And the finale. Oh, the finale is interesting. Canellakis has some ideas, and they're smart ones. Like, how it kind of bogs down in the middle after the motto comes back with the scale thing, and then it's chunk, 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 da, ba da da da, ba 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 ba, chunk, 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 it's that sequence. It just goes on and on and on and on. And in some performances, that can be agonizing. With Tovey, you mentioned it as his locus classicus for music that tries to go faster and faster and winds up treading water, that sort of thing. But then it slows down and stops with that, sort of chorale thing. Bum, 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 bum. Da, 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 wa, da, da, wa. Before it perks up again. Well, this is the locus classicus for the adjunct that Mahler used to say if he was losing his audience or because things were going well, you go slower, not faster. And that's what Canellakis does. She shapes those phrases sensitively. It's not mannered. It's just meaningfully. And so just where the music seems like it's about to die, it gets really, really poetic and interesting. And it was so smart. She knows what she's doing. The whole rest of the finale is fabulous. So that's really great. The only thing I might add is that when the trumpet gets the big tune, it could be a little more vulgar. Da, 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 dum, ba. You want to have a trumpet that's going to sort of ham it up a little bit. It's very straightforward. But wow, fabulous performance. The Pathétique is just as good. I mean, it really is terrific. The first movement has a lovely second subject phrased with elegance. Again, I mean, the passion is there, but also, just an directness that I think is really, really enjoyable. The central development section is powerful and hysterical as it should be. The huge exordium at the end of it that, leads back to the second subject is powerfully done with the brass nicely balanced in there. Ba, 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 wah, wah, wah. Very, very good. Canellakis has a real feeling. I'll leave this up here. You can see her name there. She's someone to watch. Has a real feeling for like waltz things. The second movement is lovely. I mean, it's a waltz in 5/4, but it's a waltz. The scherzo, well, it starts out light as a feather, but it broadens out nicely when the march comes in. She doesn't rush through it. She lets it have its sort of pomp and circumstance. And the finale perfectly illustrates simplicity of despair. The complete simplicity of despair. It's not distended ridiculously. It's not, it's just lovely. And what can I say? I mean, it does what it's supposed to do. It's very, very beautiful performance, just sensitive and musical and a real vindication of Tchaikovsky's vision. And it's really well played by the orchestra, very well recorded for live performances before a very quiet audience at the South Bank Center, Royal Festival Hall. Once again, it was recorded, March 2023 for Symphony No. 5 and November 2024 for Symphony No. 6. But this is a first-class Tchaikovsky coupling. And I'm absolutely thrilled. I think, there's hope for Tchaikovsky. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.